played by Westbrook. Ginobili for three. Yes! 1 point lead for San Antonio. Terry, a long three. Bang! Jason Terry gives the Mavericks a 7-point lead with 33 seconds remaining. Rebound, O'Neal, coming up short. Ori for the win.
Simmers bringing in 5 seconds to go. Tie game. Seatbelts are fastened. Lou Williams for the win. Bingo!
Oh my goodness.
This podcast is sponsored in part by Fanatics. Fanatics offers the broadest assortment of fan merchandise and memorabilia worldwide from all your favorite leagues and sports, not just the NBA and NCAA like we talk about here, but also the NFL. And I'm in the market for some new Packers gear myself, and with Fanatics selection, I can choose between jerseys, t-shirts, and sweatshirts, even face masks, tailgating equipment, and stuff for my pets. And I'm leaning towards getting a nice sweatshirt myself. You can also shop MLB, NHL, NASCAR, and all your favorite soccer leagues around the globe. Order now and get free U.S. shipping on any and all orders over $29 using code 29SHIP. Again, that's 29SHIP 29SHIP. And now, back to the podcast.
Hello, welcome to another bonus episode of the Six Man Podcast. I'm being joined by Zane, aka MegaZane5 on YouTube and Twitter. Zane, I know you're a massive Memphis Grizzlies fan, so I gotta say, man, it's cool to watch them be good again. I miss the Zebo days a lot. So
that's a fact. It's crazy, bro. Like, I don't think we know they were gonna be good, but like I don't think they knew we were gonna be this good, bro. You know? 3rd seed, almost a 2nd seed, which I do think we can still be the 2nd seed. So that's crazy, bro.
yeah, I think coming into the year, I said they'd be like the 5th seed overall, and I thought like they'd have to like catch Utah or something. But
yeah, even though
Utah's really fallen off, and
dude, bro, to be like the almost climbing to the 2nd seed, I think they can still get the 2nd seed. Desmond Bane is going crazy. Jaren Jackson Jr., no one's talking about him, but like he has those games where he gets like 6 blocks a game. And then obviously John Morant, y'all know what he's doing.
yeah, John Morant being the most like nationally known out of those, but like you know, Triple J being in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation.
Yeah.
And of course, Desmond Bain, kid from Richmond, Indiana, you know, kids balling out. Insane, so you love to see that.
Yeah.
What I want to know first off is how did you become a fan of the Grizzlies?
Honestly, bro, seeing John Morant and then like, you know, coming into the league, bro, having that energy, like he came into the league like he's in his 5th year, bro. Like, you know, those rookies, some rookies like they get not shy, but like they don't want the ball in the clutch moments. And then some rookies that like they'll let the stars do the plays. This man came in and like he was already the star, bro. So that mentality, I was like, nah, I had to dip OKC to be a fan of this team, bro.
It's absolutely weird to me how like this team has taken a bunch of like role players on other teams and like completely flipped their script. I look at like, you know, John Morant being the 2nd player taken in that draft. Everybody knew he was the 2nd best guy, but now it looks like a Kevin Durant, Greg Oden situation. Everybody was super low on Jaren Jackson Jr. He slips to Memphis, and now he's, you know, this like 17-10 guy who can block 6 shots a game.
Dude,
Kyle Anderson
is about enough. Not get talked
Kyle
about
Anderson's the slowest player in the NBA, but can finish the ball better than just about anybody.
Underrated at that too, bro.
It's so weird to me. And then of course you still have players like Dylan Brooks who signs his contract that declines towards the end of it. So he's getting cheaper as he's getting better. Yeah. And then you kind of get this diamond in the rough in Zaire Williams, who had a weird start to his career where he was like the 12th guy, and now he's kind of played his way into the rotation, and he looks like kind of what I dreamed the Pacers would have gotten with Duarte. what do you think the ceiling is for this Memphis team this year? Is it championship or bust, or do you think they're still a year away?
think I think they have the pieces to win it now, but obviously, like with the young core, obviously, if you run into teams with experience like the Warriors, even the Suns, you can put them up there. I think they could get past them, but I think it'll be challenging because like they're talented, bro. Like we have like so many young guys. I think we had like I wish they had a stat where we could see how many games a night they scored. At least 7 players scored 10 plus a game, bro. Because we had like so many games where like 7 players scored 10 plus a game. It's the ceiling for right now. I actually think we can get to the finals, bro. It's the thing, same thing with the Cavs. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if they do get to the finals because they're that good. But like, I know we can probably get to the finals. So ceiling for me, I think either finals or Western Conference finals. They're that good.
I think it would be like the ultimate dream to have a Cavs and Grizzlies finals.
Oh my God, bro. I would love that, bro. I would forget Lakers and Nets, bro.
I'm over the Lakers. I'm over the Nets. I want these teams, small markets, to get there, man. And with me, I think the big thing I find so interesting is how like the Grizzlies for years have just been like the salary dump destination where they get rid of players like Mike Conley, Zach Randolph, and Marcus Saul, and that's where players or teams send their bad salaries. That's kind of what Steven Adams was looked at, coming into the season. And man, Steven Adams just kind of walking around carrying players off the court when they get mad, looking like he's the dad of the team. It's so funny to me. What do you think, like, the big difference between the way Valanciunas played, where he, pretty much, the offense didn't run through him like Sabonis did in Indy, but, he was a 20 and 10 kind of guy. And like with Steven Adams, it's just like he's like a 0 and 10 kind of guy. He doesn't shoot the ball, but he goes out and just plays hard on defense and gets you good rebounds. Like
I feel like to watch, you have to watch Steven Adams play to notice how good of a player he is. Like if you're watching the games, the pick and rolls, he's so strong, bro. Like when you set him to pick and he rolls the easy buckets, he also a great passer, bro. Great IQ. He's a guy that he's like a pass to assist type of guy. Like he'll find the first guy and that second guy will find the other guys to score. And then something I love about him, Zion said it. He's so strong, bro. Like he's insanely strong. He picked up like a 200-pound guy and like just carried him, bro. Like, but he's talent.
Yeah, I wonder like if how much that change has like improved this team. Because like I said, he's literally like the team dad. It seems like
you gotta like
keep players out of trouble. He's like, he's the oldest player on the team, I believe, by just like a couple of months. He's 28, and for a team to have the oldest player be 28 years old, it's quite impressive. And one of the things, and to be that good. And one of the other things that I think Memphis does that's so underrated is their coaching staff. I think people hated Memphis's coaching decision, and I've always been like, these unproven coaches can be pretty dangerous. But for me, when Memphis announced their coaching decision, I said, Taylor Jenkins, I really like the guy. Like I'm intrigued.
Yes, bro.
I really wonder, how much Memphis's trajectory would be different if he's not their head coach. Obviously, he was an assistant in Milwaukee, but a lead assistant in Milwaukee, but no one really knew who he was going to be. But even he, for an NBA head coach, is pretty young. He's only 38 years old, or he will be 38 this year. And like, it's just crazy to me that he has flipped this switch. And of course, Ja Morant taking this, leap from top 50 player to top 10 player is insane.
Wow.
But
bro.
You're throwing this guy in, you're taking Desmond Bane from, pretty much, just a glorified role player to now he's winning the Rising Stars Challenge for his team. And, they win the Clutch Challenge with Tyrese Halliburton. For me, I think the next step for Memphis is determining what they do in the draft. They are somehow going to have 3 first-round picks this year. Because they made these trades that people were like, what are they doing? Why are they getting rid of all these things?
Yeah.
Well, now you're looking at like probably pick 9 or 10 because the Lakers, are struggling. You're
Yeah, they're
looking at
doing
pick
bad.
like 24 from Utah and then like 28, 26, somewhere like that from Memphis. Do you think they do anything like take those picks and maybe go get like a finishing player like a Miles Turner? Or do you think that they maybe take those picks, trade them to like an Orlando team who might be picking, 6 or 7 and trade up and go get Shaden Sharp from Kentucky, kind of that mystery box in the draft where if it hits, you have this generationally talented player
Yeah.
that's right next to John Moran on a rookie scale contract.
It's tough, bro. Or what?
Or are you going out and getting, a really good starter? Like I said, I've always wondered how Miles Turner would work next to John Morant. I think that fit is like
That
really
was crazy.
interesting. But
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on what Memphis needs to do, whether it's the draft or this offseason? Obviously, we still got 20 games left, and hopefully we see him raise a banner. But
First, bro, Taylor Jenkins he's special, bro. We saw what he did without John Morant. What was their record without John Morant at the time?
I think they were 13-1, if I'm not mistaken.
That goes to show,
impressive.
like, there's some coaches where like you put them in with a whole bunch of talent and they do well because of the coaching, but mainly because the players are doing well. But you're putting in with a team where like they have one superstar and a team effort. That's special, bro. And then for their picks, it's tough. I think what I would do, I would probably trade up for a player because Memphis is literally like one not even a star, one like great starter away from like being serious contenders, bro. And if I'm Memphis, you're in the win now situation, bro. You've shown that you're good enough already, right? You're already the 3rd seed, almost a 2nd seed. You're already that good. You don't need to like go draft. I think we're done developing, bro. We have so many young stars developing already. I think we just need one like starter that's great in the league that can put up at least like 15, 20 a game. And then, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, you still have Ja, who's on his rookie scale deal till 2023, so he's still cheap for another year and a half.
Yeah.
Then Jarrett Culver comes off your books next year because his option was declined. You have an interesting decision with Tyus Jones. If you want to pick up his, re-sign him next year, I would be intrigued if they did. I don't love that fit, but because I think Tyus Jones is probably the most easily replaceable, role player on this team.
Yeah.
But then there's Kyle Anderson. He's an unrestricted free agent, 28, probably gonna be 29 at this time next year. It'll be interesting to see if they re-sign him or if they let him walk. I think he's one of their like key core guys, but also again, one of those players you can replace with someone else. A name that I keep thinking makes a lot of sense, especially since he's an unproven free agent this offseason, would be like TJ Warren. A player who can defend 1 through 4, who can go get you 20 points a game, but because of his injury issue this year, probably isn't going to play a lot for the Pacers. They're not in the mood to re-sign him because he doesn't fit their youth pipeline.
Yeah.
That's the kind of guy that Memphis can take a $6 million, $8 million swing on, and if it hits, you have a 20 point score on your bench. Whereas, then you've accelerated again. And then, of course, the other big thing is they can just take a massive step forward with their young talent. Zaire Williams could be the next, 20-6
He's
guy.
special, bro.
Yeah, you could have Desmond Bain just become another 25 point a game guy, And the best part with Memphis, of course, is their defense too, is everybody
oh my God. Their defense is
so
amazing.
athletic and long. So is there any like free agents, whether it's budget free agents or any trades you think Memphis should, like players you think Memphis should be going after? Like Phoenix, I think, was in this position going into the bubble where they won 8 in a row. They didn't make the playoffs, obviously. Next season, they go get Chris Paul. They make the finals, right? I think that's what Memphis really needs to be looking at. While they've accelerated their timeline quite a bit, because again, I don't think anybody thought Memphis was going to be potentially second in the West.
Yeah.
they've accelerated their timeline. Who's their Chris Paul going to be?
Honestly, I think they can get there with just one superstar. Like I said, they need like one like solid starter. I think Pacers are a team where like they're not good, but they have like some great guys where you can steal from them and like make a great team. I think getting someone like Miles Turner, like you said, either it has something to do with something a trade with like the draft picks or either Kyle Anderson. I love Kyle Anderson, bro. I love him. But I think I would probably trade him, Jones also, because they're great. They're good players. Don't get me wrong. But like, I wouldn't mind if they go for someone like Miles Turner or like TJ Warren. And we've seen what TJ Warren can do in the bubble. But like, obviously, I don't think he's going to be able to do that now because of the fit. But I would try to go to get someone like TJ Warren, Miles Turner. I think like they will give me like at least Miles Turner, great on defense, great on offense. And then TJ Warren, we all see what he can do. I think I'll try to get those two guys for sure.
Yeah, and then of course, I think maybe the most underrated thing that Memphis has done is, of course, still having assets to build in the future if this somehow doesn't work out. You know, one of the things that there's a guy on Utah Jazz Reddit who subreddit, he says he's worried that Donovan Mitchell would go to the Grizzlies to play next to Ja Morant, and I said, well, that's an interesting concept. How would that work? And I was looking at it, I was like, you know, cap wise, Memphis has like $30 million in cap space, I think, going into next offseason. If they don't re-sign anybody, they can send out like Steven Adams and 3 first-round picks and bring back Donovan Mitchell, which is absurd to think about. But if Donovan Mitchell, you know, wants to play close to Louisville, which, you know, that's where he's from. It's where he played college ball. Memphis is pretty close, man, and it would be really interesting to see.
I would love that.
Him and John Morant running around together because again, like you said, they're one starter away, but if they could go get, you know, another top 15 player, that's it. Lights out. Good luck, Western Conference.
I'm thinking that got me thinking of like Donovan Mitchell, John Morant plus Desmond Bane, bro. Just those 3 alone, that would be scary. It'd be awesome. It
would be so awesome to watch too. The Pacers, I think, should be looking to do that kind of like 3-headed monster with guards this year. You know, they got Tyrese Halliburton from the Kings somehow. I don't understand.
Don't know that trade at all.
I don't get it on the Kings end, but hey, we're the beneficiaries of that. You know, they should really be looking at like Halliburton, Duarte, and then I really like this Ja Morant 2.0 and Jaden Ivey from Purdue, man. He's, you know, Indiana kid. I would love to see him in the blue and gold, but we'll see. You know, they got to get the ping pong balls to fall in the right spots for them. So
yeah.
My last question for you is, let's say Memphis can't get it done this year.
Yeah.
When do you think you would predict Memphis to win a title?
It all depends on what happens in free agency after the season. I think if they can go out and get some pieces, which I know probably they will, I think maybe the year after, bro. I think, because think of it like this. They're already this close, right? No one expected it. Obviously, if they see how good they are this year, they're going to try. And even if they're not going to try, Ja Morant's going to try to get some more pieces in the free agency to try to do something even in the year before or after, bro. So I think if not this year, next year for sure.
I like their timeline. You know, I look at this season, you know, I would say it's going to be really hard for them to match up great with Phoenix.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's talk DeAndre Ayton's not coming back to Phoenix next year. And if you know, he walks, he goes somewhere else. Now it starts getting interesting of like where the dominoes are going to fall. Because, you know, there's still talk LeBron might get traded from the Lakers this offseason.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Clippers will be back to full health with their new 3-headed monster of Kawhi, PG, and, you know, Covington and the deal they made with Portland. But I think Memphis would suddenly rocket to the top of, well, everybody's under the age of 30 and they've already got the experience now with, you know, this crazy season this year.
They're going insane. Something I love about them, real quick, something I love about them is like they're not afraid of anyone, bro. Like they're not afraid of anyone. They'll go against Golden State a team that's like titled to win it all. And it was like go in there and just like do everything, bro. You have John Morant staring down people in Warriors jerseys. Their energy is amazing.
Yeah, I am so excited. I am so excited about the future of this team. And to pivot into more exciting futures, let's talk about your YouTube channel and growth a little bit here. So I started following you, probably around Christmas, and you were doing some like crazy 2K stuff, and started watching your videos. And one of the things that sticks out about me is like how you're building this like culture both on Twitter and on YouTube. You want to go ahead and talk a little bit about like what you do, try to keep it real with everyone, things like that?
Honestly, bro, it's just trying to be different. I feel like there's like ways you can easily get to the top or like try to get to the top like everyone else. But if you're trying to be different, I feel like that's the best way. And honestly, secondly, just communicating with people, bro. I don't do it because it helps me. I just do it because like it's so much better. It's like way better to communicate with people instead of like having people that you're liking it, but you don't really know anything about them, and like building a bond and like community. It's like it's so amazing, bro.
Do you have any big projects coming up? Any like series you're going to start throwing together? I know I love your series where you're like, give me 3 random NBA players and, and then I'll come in with some like 3 like G Leaguers, and you're like, really? Why are you doing this to me? Stuff like that.
I have WWE is coming out soon, so I have some good stuff for that. And it's like, even if you don't even watch WWE, it still be entertaining because I got some fun stuff for that. And then for 2K alone, NBA, I have some fun ideas coming up soon that I've been planning. So yeah.
Yeah, if you have not watched his videos, go to youtube.com, look up MegaZane5. You can check that out there. Get all of his 2K content. Follow him on Twitter. One of the best follows. He always asks, he always posts like weird scores going on around the league. It's like, damn, the Lakers are down 50. What's going on in LA? Things like that. So give him a follow there. Check out his work. And wherever you're listening, thanks for checking out the Six Man Podcast. Be on the lookout for other exclusive interviews and probably another episode with Cam and I breaking down his latest bracketology coming up later this week.